Bob Kadluboski Yes. Notice that you're setting rules up, but yet you let other people go back and forth. But when I try to do it, I'm thrown out. So if we're gonna do the meetings, let's keep them on everybody even. And I mean, I do agree that when there's a question, you should be able to talk to somebody from the administration. I think maybe for next year, we should come up with some different rules, especially like putting the podium back for the officials to stand there. So they could, and it's very ignorant for them to sit there. You know, you got citizens taking time out of their day to come down here. I think we should put the podium back up. And also there should be water here for people to drink. I don't know why we're being punished about that. And I think that there should be maybe a little more time given to people. I mean, Mr. Walsh, he wants to talk. I think we should maybe extend it to maybe 7 minutes. It used to be 10 for next year. And I think that we should be able to go back and forth with council after they ask the question. Because I notice here now you're letting, if that was me, you'd have him with his cuffs and mace dragging me out if I disturb the meeting or go back and forth. So I think it's a little bit unfair. I thought last meeting when I brought up about that lady, like she wasn't in, not if I offended anybody, I didn't mean it. But that's the truth that you don't know what people will do. I mean, you know, people are fed up with their government officials. They're fed up with like the corruption in the police department. And if I brought that up, I didn't mean to alarm anybody. I just told you, you know, can you imagine working somewhere for 22 years, have a business, and they come in and hand you a paper and tell you to get out in 5 days? And oh, by the way, if we have to tear your building down, you're going to have to pay for it. So, I mean, if I did offend anybody, I didn't mean to do it, but it's just that you're like Newville. Can you imagine if you lost your $200,000 a year in salaries and pensions, how you would feel? Especially if somebody was like this to you, Bill, when they seen you, waving and laughing at you. Hey, Bill, how you doing? You and your wife at the soup kitchen now? It's not fun when people do that to you. Believe me. See, like, that's what I try to make you people. You don't understand what other people, how they feel about this administration. Just so you know, I hate coming down here. I can't stand it. Because you just don't do anything anyway. It's a waste of my time and a waste of everybody's time here to come here, because you just don't do anything anyway. And I'd just like to bring up about the mayor's pay raise you gave him. How come we have to do a petition drive to stop it? Why did you just give him that? He's not entitled to that. I told you about what happened in 1990. He just took the power away from the people. What I'd like to do is, how could we get these couple things finally put to rest? Like that one important issue was that towing thing. You just could have stopped that now by taking it out of the budget. I told you what's happening there. And number two, how about the pension system? Why should the mayor, Tom Layton, or Tom McGroarty, Lee Namey, Bernie Mengerhausen, and now Kathy Kane are going to count their part-time service and get these big pensions, while that officer right there has to work 25, 30 years, or to age 50, however the time goes. How do we count this part-time service towards a full-time pension? And I did go to Kathy King. As a matter of fact, Mr. Merrick was supposed to be working on it. Can I get an answer on that, how you count part-time service towards a full-time pension? And how about this towing thing? Why did you just let that go through the budget? I mean, the guy, Mr. Vertical, brought up about the prices. I had one price, 70 and 75, 70 daytime, 75 at nighttime. Exactly what I said was going to happen, happened. Hundreds and hundreds of dollars for tows. They have prices for everything now. If you break wind there, they have a cleanup fee for that. No matter what you do, they have an expert for this, an expert for that. And I don't blame Falzone. I mean, these new prices, as far as I'm concerned, make Leo look like Discount Danny. So I think he did a disservice by allowing the mayor to get a raise. And like I said, and this is no idle threat. This is a promise to you people. Next year, we're going to do a petition drive. And we're going to cut the mayor's salary, and we're going to slash your council salaries in half. Because it's just not fair that these people are allowed to do stuff they want. You sit here like a bunch of freaking dodos. And I'm not the only one saying it. It's like, it's really a waste of time to come here to explain things to you people. Like how many times I came, I talked to you, Niceville, with Kathy Kane, Councilman Tony Thomas, and what did you just end up doing? You just came after me. I wasn't the problem. You know what the problem was. With all that corruption in the police department that I brought out, I've shown you, it just doesn't make sense. It is a waste of time for anybody to come down here. That's all I can tell you. It's a waste of time. Now, when can I get answers on this? What are we going to do about this pension thing and about the mayor's pay raise?
Okay. Is that the end of your?
Yeah.
That's the end of your. Okay. First of all, I take great exception and all that you would refer to the police department as corrupted. that officer there and for you to call the police department corrupt, I think is totally out of line. If you have knowledge of corruption, by all means take it someplace. Please don't label those people. In one hand, you're referring to that officer standing there working hard for 25 years.
I didn't say he was corrupt.
It's to the police department.
Well, Bill, how were they able to take cases of liquor into that police station? Cases of liquor into that police
I have no
station.
knowledge of cases of liquor.
We'll go over it, and Jerry just saw, you're not gonna believe this, Bill, but
Okay.
Jerry just saw, he said, I heard rumor of that. Well, why didn't he get off his big rear end and do something
All
about
right,
it?
so I'm trying to answer the question.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, pension issue, as was discussed previously, is covered by state law. The members that you see here before you have a right to, but may or may not be participating in it. But it is covered by state law. They are entitled to that should they decide. Personally, I don't, but that's everyone's personal preference right now. And it's something that we've looked at. It's not something that we can change. We can't change that state law.
Is there a way to actually get a copy of that? Because it's just not fair that that officer has to work 25 years, or any other city employee, work all this time to get a full-time pension, and these hogs come in here and work part-time, like Kathy King. She's gonna work 4 years full-time and count her part-time service and walk out with a pension more than probably anybody in this audience makes by working 50 hours a week. That's the unfairness of it. And I've still never got an answer. Show me that law that says that.
I don't have, it's a state law. not
Can I get a
not
copy of
state
it,
law.
please?
Okay. Maybe one of our attorneys can give you that law. I don't know if it's something we can readily put our hands on. Mike, I don't know if you've done some research on that. I know you're looking at it.
We all voted on to stop the pension, and we sent that to the state via UD check.
Mhm.
Haven't heard anything back since.
Maybe I can answer that, Bill, if you don't mind. We did vote on it. I sent a letter to Senator Deschek and asking him to review that. Several of us don't contribute to the pension. I don't contribute to pension, nor do I take the buyout for the health care. That's personal choice, but a letter was sent to the senator. I did not receive anything back when it was sent out. I believe several people here do have a copy of that. The media again gave a copy, and Mr. Stork has a copy of it. So it was sent out. If you want to check with those people, they do have a copy of it.
Thank you.
But I did not get an answer back.
See, the reason I keep bringing it up, you take Lee Name, he worked 8 years full-time, 12 years part-time, and has collected hundreds of thousands of...
So we're gonna finish, we've gone way over. You have one other thing on the towing?
You want to just finish this?
No.
I
Told you guys.
Well, let me finish with 2 seconds.
Go ahead, finish it.
Mr. Brown, the unfairness of it is Lee Name, he worked 8 years full-time, 12 years part-time, and has collected hundreds of thousands of dollars in retirement and health care. Hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's why I get so upset over it. How is it fair? It's not fair.
But see, Bob, we did vote on it, and we did submit the proper documentation
Good.
To the senators. We can't do more than that. We did what you did.
All right, thank you.
How about Tom?
Towing's another, I mean, we go through this every other week about the towing. You bring it up, you come in, you bring it up. As far as I know, it's a temporary contract. It's something that they're working on, and I'm sure you'll hear more about it in the future.
No answer.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.